sir, last time I had asked a question and I had understood from your answer is that in terms of Anapanasati, the attention on a fixed point like the nose or the nostrils is, as you had mentioned, sort of required for samadhi, whereas I had mentioned that if we have an open, broader awareness of the breathing, I'd not given details, but in this week I figured out more, so I'll continue with that. But you had mentioned that if you are more focused somehow on the broader aspect of breathing, like the body movement or something like that, then it's fine for your mindfulness. Now in continuity, I also felt similar, where if I'm able to focus on the nasal area, nostrils, if there's a fixed point basically, then it's easier to feel more collected. Samadhi is far away, and if it's a broader awareness of the body, then it's somehow more easier to be mindful during the daily activities. So there's some development in that, and I would like to share that something related to my personal practice is that like I've had some like rhinitis and these nasal allergies for a long period, and nothing that interferes with a daily life, but it's just the nose is very insensitive. Now what I realize is that I'm to feel there's hardly any sensation on the nasal area. It's just there that way, and I'm it's been there for a long time, but because I started daily practice and dedicatedly trying to do that, so I've realized there's not the nasal area is actually insensitive. It's very hard to have a sensation there because of the medical factors. I do sometimes feel like when I wet the nasal area or when I steam and then it becomes sensitive, I can feel. Now initially what I would do is I would like breathe, I would actually breathe harder to feel that. Then I realized that's not how Anapanasati is. You're supposed to observe the breath, not like just breathe so that you can observe some sensation or some movement. Now I stopped controlling and I wanted to be as subtle and see the breath as is, but I don't have any. The belly movement or the chest area is very subtle, so I don't have any anchor if I'm trying to do Anapanasati. So as at least as of now, so and I'm still like persisting, so thinking that maybe in the future I might be able to penetrate and get some anchor, or should it a liking or some sense of affinity towards the breath meditation for a long time. But since I've not like really tried practicing a lot of it, now I'm realizing how it's going about. So to sum it up, should I continue this way and wait, and those subtle movements where I can sometimes feel the body movement, feeling the nasal area is like impossible. I've really worked hard on it. I don't, as of now it seems impossible, but the body movement seems subtle, but seems some moments where I can anchor on it, but very like rare, and then in between I get drawn away into the thoughts and all that. So should I persist this way for the long time, or should I think about other objects of meditation, which are the 40 objects, and like, should I explore all of that? Sorry, I was slightly long on the question, but I had to give some background.
It happens sometimes. When we say samadhi, it means you focus on the breath. Of course, from the point of view of concentration, जितना हमारा area of concentration छोटा होता है उतनी sharpness बढ़ जाती है. लेकिन अगर इस area में नहीं हो पा रहा है, you can do on the chest, you can do on the belly. And जैसे आप कह रहे हैं कि वहाँ पे बहुत subtle होती है movement, तो that is a very good thing for you to raise your concentration. अगर वहाँ पे movement subtle है, so it means you will have to put lot of attention in knowing it. Normally तो वो movement इतनी gross होती है कि आराम से मालूम पड़ जाती है. So you can work on that for a long time, slowly and slowly. But I have somehow get a feeling, intuitively, it's not conveyed through words, but probably you're making too much effort in this direction. You should just relax.
Yes, sir. That's true, sir.
Just relax and ask yourself a question. Am I breathing or not? And then wait for the answer to come naturally. Don't bother if you can't feel the breath. It doesn't matter.
Sure, sir. So, sir, would it be possible to, like, if I feel the sensations around the chest and the belly, would that still lead I mean, it's far away, but would that still be the right practice? Because the nasal area is what I've heard always, and it
There's
feels
a tradition in Burma where they practice entirely on the belly only, and they attain huge samadhis with psychic powers. So it's not in any way lower than that. You must have heard about Deepa Ma. She had enormous psychic powers, and she was disciple of Mahasi Sayadaw, who teaches feeling the breath. He doesn't call it anapan in that cyclical sense, but it's actually kaya anupasana, where the body breath movement is felt at the belly, and that is used as an object of concentration. So there's no, it's not in any way inferior if one really sustains it for long times. So you can practice that way. But I would strongly suggest that you just relax. Just
yes, sir.
relax and sit and say, okay, I will sit here for 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Even if I don't feel the breath once, it's fine, no problem. Just sit and say, okay, am I breathing? Of course, your theoretical knowledge will say, obviously, I must be breathing. It can't happen that I live for 30 minutes and I don't breathe. It's not going to happen. So,
Yes.
but don't try to worry too much about it. It's okay. Just sit, relax. More relaxed you are, more easy it will become for you to know the reality. When we are tense, when you're expecting something, there's a latent aversion, latent fear, and that prevents the mind from being sensitive. That prevents the mind from being sharp. So just relax and see how it goes.
Yes, sir. I'll keep that in mind. In fact, I've realized that somehow I was actively breathing, which is somehow not what it's supposed to be like consciously trying to feel that something I was going wrong because I was not relaxing.
At some time, even my teacher suggests that also. That has its own place. I'm not saying anything about that.
Okay.
You specifically, whatever intuitively I can gather, I would suggest you just relax and ask yourself a question. Am I breathing or have I transcended breathing completely?
Sure, sir.
Just sit.
Yes, sir. I'll keep this in mind, sir, specifically.
Just
Thank
don't
you.
do anything.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.